If you were to kind of say the top 3 to 5 outcomes that somebody could expect.
In Ayurvedic medicine, they always talk about drainage or lymphatics. We can think about this as prepping the terrain for all the other therapies you're going to do. Whether you are going to look at a stem cell procedure, vitamin infusions, or you wanted to do PT, I would say to get a better result, prep the terrain. One thing I like to refer to the science that we know today is that they did 200-person pilots on Flowpresso, and they looked at first responders and firefighters who had been through a very traumatic event in New Zealand, and they did one session a week for 40 minutes. And in 3 weeks, they had a 92% improvement in sleep across the board in both 100-person pilots.
So just 3 sessions. It's crazy.
We can change the state, right? We can shift that state. Anybody that hears this at the clinic and looking at doing this therapy, as we move you into that state of feeling tired, relaxed, downregulated, how long can you entertain being in that place in the body? You hold the throttle on how long the magic can go. If we go right back to our phone, if we go right back into the car and back into this activated, over dopamine, overstimulated state, we can hinder that. Now, I want to also mention in the study, there were no other lifestyle changes, no dietary changes, no nothing. That was just the Flowpresso. It's very, very compelling. But I always want to give people, I'm like, I want your 1-in-1 to be like 10.
Yeah.
So I always want to invite people, with the state change, how do you bring that into your life and how do you embody that into your next 2 or 3 conversations and your next 8 hours a day? Because it's 40 minutes. We got 23 other hours that we can do whatever we want to do with that new information. I like tech like this because it gives the body evidentiary proof that we can come way down. I think that's so powerful. Another one that's really incredible again is the weight loss. Resistance to weight loss. The mechanism, if we look at all the studies on drainage, I think we would look at, we hold tons of extra fluid that slows down mitochondrial function. It would be what's known as the transmembrane potential, how high the voltage of the cell could be. And again, with extra fluid, you dilute that. You dilute the salinity in the body or the form of water in the body. So metabolically, that's something we see tons of wellness spas, medi spas use cryo, cold therapy, and they use Flowpresso. For me, my hack for like a people that want to like shred up because we're going into summer here in Austin, Texas, is to go in the cold plunge, 3 to 5 minutes, dry off, regulate your breath. Let's get you right in Flowpresso. Because what we're doing is we're shrinking all those fat cells. And this could be a spot cryo treatment. This could be a cold plunge. We're actually mobilizing those lipids. They get stuck in the collagen matrix. This is another thing I never realized. It was like cellulite is just lipids that is stuck in the collagen fibers, and it's forming this undesirable surface of skin. That's why you can change it mechanically. So that's where something like this pressure gradient in the suit. We do have a mode, that we do talk about. Mode 2 is for fascia gliding on the suit, which functions a little different. And that would be my number 2. But the last one I'll mention, and there's more, but I think it's the inflammatory mediators. Looking at all the inflammatory proteins, this comes into play with, I've got 4 really good studies that I had just pulled on scar tissue formation and chronic pain associated with lymphatic drainage.
Interesting.
And they found after the area occurred an incident, it could be bumping your knee, it could be post-surgical tissue. Anytime we cut through the body, the longer the inflammatory mediators hang around in the area, the longer we're going to have keloid, fibrous scarring in that area. We're going to minimize that anytime we complement drainage of the inflammatory mediators, that they don't hang out longer than they need to. The reason that happens is because lack of mobility, other scars within the body, or a chronic infection.